Today we're going to be talking about the 30 Years War. Normally when we think of a war, we think of two or more groups fighting each other in battle after battle until one group surrenders or is destroyed. This is not the case in the 30 Years War. Although there were over 40 battles fought in the war over the 30-year period, they were spread out, and there may be years between battles, but it was still over the same factor. This war involved several countries, including Bohemia, France, Switzerland, Germany, and Denmark. These were just the major players, but there were a lot more countries involved. Here's a look at some of them. Some of those countries I've never even heard of. Saxony, no idea. Where it says emperor, that's talking about the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Another one down there toward the other end is papacy. That's talking about the Pope and the Vatican. The 30 Years' War, like so many others, was about religious freedom. It lasted from 1618 to 1648. We don't normally put a lot of focus on memorizing dates in this class, but these dates are important. We need to know those. And as I said before, the 30 Years' War included more than 40 major battles. Four that we're going to discuss today are the Bohemian Revolt, the Danish Invasion, the Swedish Charge, and the French involvement. Remember the Holy Roman Empire? This was a group of Catholic nations that all agreed to be governed by a Holy Roman Emperor. Now, these nations still had their own king, they still had their own government, but they agreed to put themselves under the Holy Roman Emperor in matters of religion and morality and stuff like that. The Holy Roman Empire was not run by the Pope or any of the church leaders, but by a king that was selected to rule by the countries that were involved in the empire. As with anything else run by man, the empire got greedy and began to try to increase its power. In the country of Bohemia, a bunch of Protestants got mad because their king, Ferdinand II, was taking away their right to worship. To protest, they did what they usually did. They threw two governors and a secretary out of a two-story window. Cool. But this started the war. The folks that got thrown out of the window survived, I think, but they were just the fact that they did this is what started the 30 Years' War. The people of Bohemia overthrew their king, Ferdinand II, and replaced him with a guy named Frederick. The only problem was that the other nations decided to make Ferdinand II the new Holy Roman Emperor. This made him in charge of Bohemia, and he made Frederick leave the throne and continued to take away the Protestants' rights. So Ferdinand II was pushing for Catholic dominance. After Frederick was dethroned, the Holy Roman Emperor declared the Catholic religion the only legal religion. Since the Protestant Reformation was in full swing, this made a lot of people mad. A few years later, the Danish got involved. While Denmark wasn't actually in the Holy Roman Empire, they were close. They were a bordering state. And their king, Christian IV, was a Lutheran and was afraid the emperor would try to enforce his laws on Denmark, try to make them be Catholic. So Christian IV sent an army to attack, but they lost. and had to sign a treaty called the Treaty of Lubeck. The emperor decided to take back land that the empire had lost in the war, and this made lots of other people mad. He was expanding the empire. That was near the Holy Roman Empire and was afraid of being overrun was Switzerland. The war was now more about power and land than religion. Switzerland's king, Gustavus II Adolphus, decided to attack the empire, but he did something that other people didn't do. He won. He managed to secure Switzerland from the empire, but he was killed in battle, so it was kind of a mixed ending. This is where things changed. The king in France was too young to actually rule, so a cardinal in the Catholic Church ran the country for him. This guy's name was Richelieu. Richelieu, yeah. While he was a leader in the Catholic Church, Richelieu didn't mind Protestant worshiping as they saw fit. So he joined the Swedish and the Dutch against the Holy Roman Empire. Eventually, Emperor Ferdinand II died, and the empire was turned over to his son, Ferdinand III, who decided to end the war. All the nations came together and they held talks in Westphalia, Germany. The talks took 4 years to complete. The first 6 months was spent just arguing over who was going to sit where. Seriously? Anyway, they finally signed a treaty called the Peace of Westphalia, and the war was over. The Pope didn't like it. He didn't agree with the treaty, and he ended up losing a lot of his power and authority in Europe. So there you have the 30 Years War PowerPoint presentation. You need now to read the chapter in the book. And remember that all the words that are in bold in the chapter are important and may be seen again. Thank you very much and have a nice day.